Most people think retirement planning starts with one stressful question: how much money have you saved? That question alone has caused more anxiety, shame, and confusion than almost anything else in personal finance. It makes people feel behind, late, or inadequate before they even understand what retirement actually requires. But here's the truth. Most people never hear until it's almost too late. Retirement does not start with how much you've saved. Retirement starts with understanding a few simple numbers that quietly control almost every part of your future. And the surprising part is this: these numbers are not mysterious, complicated, or reserved for financial experts. They're practical. They're within your control. And once you understand them, retirement stops feeling like a guessing game and starts feeling manageable, even if you're starting later than you planned. The first number that matters is not your portfolio. It's your real spending. Not what you think you spend, not what you hope to spend, but what your life actually costs today. Many people make the mistake of assuming their spending will remain flat forever, as if retirement locks life into a permanent pattern. But real life doesn't work that way, especially after 60. In the early years of retirement, people tend to spend more. They travel. They eat out more. They finally say yes to experiences they delayed while working. Then, gradually, something natural happens. Life slows down. Energy changes. Interests shift. People become more selective. Spending often declines, not because of hardship, but because desires change. And the spending that declines is usually the flexible spending, not the essentials. Housing, food, insurance, utilities, and basic living costs tend to remain stable. What fades over time are frequent trips, constant upgrades, impulse purchases, and high-energy activities. This is why understanding your real spending today is so powerful. It allows you to separate what is essential from what is flexible. And once you see that clearly, retirement planning becomes far less intimidating. When you know your baseline costs, you stop overestimating how much you need. You stop planning for a version of life that may never exist. You start building a plan that reflects reality instead of fear. The second number that matters is guaranteed income, and for most people that means Social Security. Social Security is often underestimated, misunderstood, or emotionally dismissed. Some people assume it won't be there, others think it's insignificant. But for millions of retirees, Social Security becomes the financial anchor that stabilizes everything else. It's inflation adjusted, it lasts for life, and it shows up regardless of what the market is doing. That reliability matters more than people realize. When part of your monthly spending is already covered, your savings no longer have to do all the heavy lifting. That reduces pressure, it reduces risk, and it gives you more flexibility than you expected. Many retirees are surprised to discover that once Social Security is factored in properly, the gap their portfolio must cover is far smaller than they feared. That single realization can turn years of anxiety into confidence almost overnight. Now, let me pause here for a moment. If this perspective is helping you rethink retirement and life after 60, take a second to support the channel. Like the video, subscribe, and stay connected. This channel exists to replace fear with clarity. The third number is your savings behavior, not your returns. Markets go up and down, predictions change, headlines exaggerate, but what you consistently save is something you can control. And for people who feel late or behind, this becomes their greatest strength. Many people believe that if they didn't start early, it's too late. That simply isn't true. Consistent saving, even later in life, can reshape retirement dramatically. This isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. Increasing your savings rate, even modestly, doesn't just add money. It amplifies compounding. And compounding rewards patience disproportionately. Every additional dollar saved has more time to grow. And growth is not linear. It accelerates. That's why consistency matters more than intensity. Saving a little more for a long time beats saving aggressively for a short time and then stopping. This is where many people regain hope. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be steady. The fourth number that quietly shapes retirement is your tax situation. Taxes don't disappear when you retire. They simply change form. Understanding how taxes affect your income sources keeps you from giving away money unnecessarily. Different accounts are taxed differently. Timing matters. Small decisions made earlier can prevent large surprises later. Many retirees are shocked to discover that income they assumed was lightly taxed still affects their overall tax picture. This is why planning, even at a basic level, matters. The goal is not to avoid taxes completely. That's unrealistic. The goal is to avoid paying more than necessary. When you understand how your income flows and how taxes interact with it, you stop guessing. You stop reacting. You start choosing intentionally. And finally, the most misunderstood number of all, time. Most people say, I want to retire in 10 years. That's not your time horizon. That's just your starting point. The real question is how long your money needs to last after you retire. For many people, that means 20, 30, or even 40 years. That one realization changes everything. It changes how much risk makes sense. It changes how aggressively you can spend. It changes how you emotionally react to market swings. Two people can retire with the same savings and live completely different retirements simply because their timelines are different. When you understand your timeline, retirement stops feeling fragile. You stop fearing every downturn. You stop overcorrecting every decision. Your plan becomes flexible instead of rigid. And flexibility is what creates peace. Here's the truth. Most people never hear clearly enough. Retirement is not a math problem. It's a life transition. For decades, work gave life structure, purpose, and routine. When that structure ends, uncertainty often disguises itself as financial fear. But once your numbers are clear, that fear loses its grip. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop reacting to headlines. You stop swinging between optimism and panic. Instead, you make calm, confident decisions that match your real life. Strong retirement plans are not rigid. They adapt. They allow spending to rise when life is full and slow down when life becomes simpler. They recognize that retirement is lived in phases, not spreadsheets. Peace in retirement doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing enough. Enough to trust your plan, enough to enjoy your money without guilt, enough to stop constantly second-guessing yourself. And if this video helped bring clarity to your thinking, take a moment to support the channel. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs reassurance about life after 60. You worked hard for this stage of life. Now it's time to live it with confidence, clarity, and control.